It's time now for French Connections, our weekly look at the intricacies of life here in France with Florence Villeminot. Hi, Flo.
Hi,
this week we are focusing on a hurdle that is dreaded by some, loved by others. We're talking about the moment when summer vacation ends and when people get back to real life.
That's right. Now, France is famous for grinding to a halt during the summer. And today we're going to talk about that whiplash moment when reality hits again and you have to get back to work. Now, some might say this isn't typically French, right? But what is a collection of unrelated events in other countries is a social phenomenon here in France. And of course, there's a word for it. It's our word du jour, rentrée. Now, rentrée is a re-entry. Typically, it's translated as back to school, but it's not just for students. It concerns everyone. It concerns you. It concerns me. And the media is obsessed with it.
C'est la rentrée.
Pour la rentrée.
Une rentrée en...
Pour la rentrée.
Cette rentrée,
Cette rentrée.
La rentrée.
Pour de la rentrée.
et toujours à propos de la rentrée.
La rentrée 2023 s'annonce compliquée.
So as you were saying, Flo, when you think about the rentrée, of course, the first thing you think about is back to school. And there are some 12 million French students who are getting ready to do just that.
That's right. And there is a lot of hype around la rentrée des classes, as it's called. And people like to discuss the pros and the cons of the latest school reform. There's also a lot of excitement in the air, though, for students, of course, but also parents and teachers. And these jitters have really persisted over the years.
Est-ce que vous êtes en forme pour cette rentrée?
Oui, pas beaucoup pareil, mais je suis quand même en forme.
Oui. Un peu de regret des vacances quand même?
Beaucoup.
Beaucoup? Et pour vous, mademoiselle, c'est un beau jour ou un jour un peu mélancolique?
Un peu mélancolique parce que on aura moins de liberté. Il faudra qu'on soit à la maison pour faire les devoirs.
Quelle ambiance à la maison? On est un petit peu...
Un peu excité pour la rentrée. Hein. C'est agréable pour tout le monde quand même.
Les parents plus que les enfants qui sont les plus excités finalement.
Les parents.
C'est ma 35e rentrée et j'ai toujours le premier jour le ventre serré, quoi, un peu comme les élèves.
So the rentrée, and I'm going through this in my house, of course, is a time for picking out new outfits. It's a time for buying school supplies. But as exciting as all of it is a real big expense, and it can be a bit of a financial headache for families.
Absolutely, especially with inflation so high. Now, there is a state-funded back-to-school allowance to help lower-income families out, but for other families, they really have to get creative, recycling old school supplies, buying secondhand, or searching for discounts.
Cette année, on a anticipé depuis le mois de juin pour pouvoir échelonner sur les différents mois, pour pouvoir leur payer quand même des bonnes fournitures scolaires sans que ça fasse un trou dans le budget.
So the end of summer isn't just back to school, it also marks the beginning of the political season, la rentrée politique.
That's right, and typically political parties hold what they call a summer school, an université d'été, which is neither a university, and it's not often held in the middle of the summer. It's held right around la rentrée. It's more of a party conference to establish a strategy for the year to come. And not to be left out, the government also has its own rentrée, laying out all sorts of new reforms to come, and of course, sparking a round of controversies along the way.
So lots of different rentrées. We talked about school, politics, like what else is there?
Well, of course, everybody else has to get back to work, like you and me. It's back to the grind. Métro, boulot, dodo, as we say here in French. Métro, work, and sleep. But the problem is that the rentrée can have a little bit of a side effect as well, a certain depression that can settle in. And in France, we talk about les blues de la rentrée, the rentrée blues. It's a feeling of dread that really can get you down when you get back from the summer break and you open your inbox and you have to start deleting reading all the emails that you've received. It can really get you down.
Une rentrée, c'est toujours un petit peu stressant. J'aime mieux partir en vacances que rentrer.
Déjà, on se connecte sur notre ordinateur avec le mot de passe qu'on peut potentiellement oublier.
On a reçu, je pense, une centaine de mails chacun. Du coup, là, ça va être la reprise. Il va falloir traiter tous les mails pendant ces 2 prochains jours.
Oh, that is all so true. Okay, some people decide to fight the blues by making new plans, and la rentrée can also be an opportunity for change.
That's right. As depressing as it can be, the rentrée is kind of a renaissance after the summer break, and it's an opportunity for optimism. A friend recently told me that she loves la rentrée because it's kind of like New Year's, but it's warm outside. So it's an opportunity for change, a fresh start, new resolutions, a new you, basically.
Est-ce qu'on est prêt pour attaquer la rentrée?
J'ai décidé de me mettre en forme après les vacances parce que j'ai beaucoup mangé.
J'ai décidé de faire du sport pour me sentir mieux, essayer de perdre du poids et puis gagner en muscle.
Travailler plus que l'année précédente
pas comme l'année dernière, de mieux être organisé.
Now, if you want to escape the harsh reality of the rentrée, you can also head to your local bookstore where there's a different kind of rentrée.
That's right, a new literary season called La rentrée littéraire, which is such a French concept. So it's basically over a 6-week period between mid-August and the end of September, a torrent of new books are released, typically between 450 and 550 books, which is a lot for a country the size of France. And so all this is really good for publishers, as you can imagine.
Il faut savoir que l'édition fait plus de la moitié de son chiffre d'affaires sur les 4 derniers mois de l'année. Donc ça va avec la rentrée littéraire, mais ça va aussi avec les grosses sorties en bande dessinée et Noël. Tout se suit. La fin d'année est très très forte dans le marché du livre. Et l'élément déclencheur, c'est quand même les prix littéraires.
So the literary award season that kicks off in October with prizes like the prestigious Prix Goncourt. Now, not to be left out, the media also have their own rentrée, a whole new cultural calendar kicks off. So be sure to stay tuned to France 24.
Certainly, and happy rentrée to everyone here in France. Flo, thank you so much for that. Florence Villeminot with French Connections. Don't forget, if you want to ask your own questions about France or the French, you can always reach out to Flo at Flo Villeminot or check out the website.